some blue-red wizards. Jeff Hooglin went. I don't know exactly how he finished his tournament. The Star City games. Let's look that up real quick. He had started 13-0, and he ended up having to play around. I heard someone say that he actually might have um, conceded a match because the opponent didn't want to draw, and he wanted to get some food before the top 8, and he was locked in. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but he played Blue-Red Wizards. His feedback after the tournament was over, it looks like his kind of stance was that a few of the cards in his deck he didn't love, and there are some other cards that he really liked. And so he adjusted. He has talked about some adjustments he would make to the list, so I'm going to kind of play around with some of the cards that have been mentioned before on different forums, but including his own and through other services. But it's going to be running the. It's going to cut Mana Leak, which I'm not sure if we want to cut Mana Leak yet. He said it wasn't amazing that weekend, but I could see Mana Leak doing really well. I think he ended up sixth, and I can't remember his overall Swiss record was. I know he won 13 matches, but go before round 14. He said Mana Leak wasn't great. It was kind of conditional. It didn't really do exactly what he wanted, and he didn't like Spell Stutter Sprite, which makes sense. It was kind of ironic because on Saturday I went and played a PPTQ, and a buddy of mine, a local who's off in college trying to get smarter, Lawson Zandy, who's done some pretty good tournament results in Texas. He had actually brewed a Blue-Red Wizards deck where he had Vendilion clicks, but he also played Mistbind clicks, and he played the full 4 Spell Stutter Sprite, so it was a little bit more controlling, a little bit more tempo. Didn't have Delver's Secrets. The cards all kind of had relevant text and synergies. And the Spell Stutter Sprites were really cool in those decks, but in this list, outside of the 2 clicks, Spell Stutter Sprite is only going to counter more than one mana cost spells whenever you activate Mutavaults, when it starts becoming mana intensive. So and now it costs 3 mana to counter a 2-drop, 4 mana to counter a 3-drop if I have multiple Mutavaults and I can tap them to themselves. And then now my Mutavaults are at risk of dying, things like that, to Lightning Bolts. So he didn't like the Spell Stutter Sprites, and I can kind of see that. We are running 8 Lightning Bolts. So we have Wizard's Lightning, which costs 1 mana if I have a wizard. Most of my deck's creatures are wizards. And we have Lightning Bolt. We have Burst Lightning, which for a long time I feel like has been getting underplayed in the modern kind of tempo decks because it's a 1 mana shock, can deal 2 damage to any target. But if you have extra mana floating around, hey, how's it going? Then you're able to kick it and you can deal 4 damage. So you're able to kind of tempo your opponents out. You get your opts, and the abrades have actually been really good in modern. Like every deck I've put an abrade in the sideboard for, I've enjoyed it. Sideboard slots, we have a lot of control interactions, some Tron Hate with Alpine Moon and Disdainful Stroke. Mardu Pyromancer is in Static Caster is pretty good. It's also really good against Affinity. Entrancing Melody is really good against like Junless, where you can take Tarmogoyfs. So Entrancing Melody is just a solid 4 mana. Take your Tarmogoyf. It's not an enchantment like a Threads of Disloyalty. They can't blow it up later. You just now have it. So overall, I think the deck looks really cool. We're gonna try to tempo wins out. This is my favorite archetype by a large mile. Anytime I see blue-red tempo pop up, I get really excited. I don't know if it's gonna be good, but I get really excited and hope it's gonna be sweet. So we're gonna go and jump into our first league match. I like the cards a lot. I'm not sure about Delver's Secrets. It's such a bad card later. We aren't running Serum Visions. Opt doesn't actually fix Delver because you draw the card you scry. So really we have no way to flip our Delver by sheer force of will, by determination. It's going to need some luck. And we have 22 spells that will go towards that. So we'll see. We'll see how good Delver is. I liked whenever I was playing around on Saturday with my buddy Zandy's Fairies version of this deck because you didn't have Delver Secrets, but you ran Mistbind clicks, Vendilion clicks, Spell Stutter Sprites, Snapcaster Mages, and Nimble Obstructionist just does really cool stuff against your opponent's fetch lands. So we'll see how that goes. Yes, we want to be on the play all the time. That's what we always want to see. This hand is decent. We really don't have any creatures that are going to offer us a whole lot of a clock. However, we do have a fair amount of burn. So, for example, we can 6-10 our opponent off these two spells and a Snapcaster Mage. So I think it's worth a keep, but it's not incredibly exciting because we don't have a creature that's super relevant early. Spell Snare I think is really great in the format. 2 mana. The format's so fast that 2 mana is great. I like it against Storm opponents. When they try to go off, you let them put one Storm spell on the stack and then counter it, so they kind of fizzle out. Let's see if we got a Hollow One matchup, or if it's Martyr Pyromancer. Flameblade Adepts. It's fine. So we are going to go ahead and kill the Flameblade Adept because it can deal a lot of damage. We're going to use the Burst Lightning because I don't want to count on getting to 5 mana to make it 4 damage. So I'm just going to use the Burst Lightning as is. We get to counter a Goblin Lore if they cast it for Spell Snare. Spell Snare I think is really good. I think that card's very underplayed. In fact, it's a 1 of or 0 of in some blue decks is kind of disappointing. Countering 2 drops. 2 mana is traditionally, where broken things exist in Magic. Opponent was going to play Blackleaf Cliffs no matter what, but they should have Faithless Looting first because they would have gone get back a Bloodghast. Burning Inquiry. We just let this resolve. We could flash in Snapcaster Mage, or we could Lightning Bolt the opponent. However, we really don't want to miss land drops, so if we pull a card out of our hand, we're increasing the probability that this makes us randomly discard a land. So we just let this happen. So we lost Spell Snare and a Wizard's Lightning and a Lightning Bolt. We get to remand this Hollow One, so that's actually really good because we didn't have the remand previously. Let's see if they have a second Hollow One. Oh, they just concede. Well, that's nice. Roast is great because they have Garmag Angler and they have Hollow One. I don't dislike negates because if we can counter some of their draw discard effects, that's really good. Disdainful Strokes. Disdainful Strokes actually are probably better because it'll counter Garmag Angler as well. Yeah. And I love those free wins. We aren't melodying because all the things are more expensive and they're trying to cheat them into play. Cards I don't like. I don't really care for Burst Lightning very much. We can shave a Spell Snare because while I was just raving about how much I love Spell Snare, this particular deck, Hollow One, doesn't have a ton of 2-drops. So we really don't need to keep that one. I like the Remands. I like the Obstructionists. We'll keep this. Alright, so this time we do have the turn 1 Delver, so if they don't Burning Inquiry it away, that'll be pretty good. So we're going to keep this one because we have Burn Spell and we have Spell Snare. So as of right now our plan is to go turn 1 Delver. Turn 2 we'll keep open Spell Snare or Wizard's Lightning because both sides of this is a wizard. So, oh no, the back side's not a wizard, that's interesting. That was actually that was a misplay. And keeping in mind that the backside is a human insect and not a wizard, we should have Scalding Tarned and fetched for a Steam Vents and just taken 3 damage, because then on upkeep, we'll get to look at the top card, and we'll flip it. We don't get to see it before it flips. So we could upkeep Wizard's Lightning or the opponent's Flameblade Adept, but at this current situation, we can't do that. Yeah, keeping that in mind, we definitely should have just fetched for the Steam Vents. That was a mistake. Double Flame Wake Phoenix. Opponent might be looking for lands, or they might have just learned from their last play. There we go. Another Flameblade Adept. So we're taking 3. So we're in a weird position where we actually are okay with him not flipping. Grim Lavamancer. Do you want to reveal this card? No. Alright, so we draw Grim Lavamancer. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. If they go Goblin Lore, we can counter it, but if they go Burning Inquiry or Faithless Looting, land flashback Faithless Looting, we're looking at taking a lot of damage from these 2 Flame Blades. So we're actually just not going to play our Goblin Lavamancer yet, because we don't want to get hit by that much damage yet. Alright, cool. So we actually get to snag this Goblin Lore. That's really good. I'm going to fetch. Could have fetched the mountain, I guess. That probably would have been better because we would have conserved life, but that's okay. So we're going to take 1. Opponent's at 2 cards in hand. We can Snapcaster and Flashback Wizard's Lightning. It is reduced to cost out of the graveyard, so we're going to be able to do what to this card. No. So we're going to attack. We're not going to flashback the Wizard's Lightning yet, because we want to see if they try to play another Goblin Lore. Because if we can counter another Goblin Lore, then we're in a really good spot. Bloodghast is fine. This Goblin Lavamancer will eventually be able to just do work on it. Yeah, this deck is good. Man. Watch as we take over. No. See, this is where I'm concerned about running Delver of Secrets, because we can't really guarantee a flip. I don't think we're in a position where we care to trade with Bloodghast, so we're just going to attack for 3, because eventually the Delver will flip, and we have double Snapcaster Mage. The reason we don't play Lavamancer here is because, again, if our opponent top decks a 2-drop spell, we want to be able to snare it. So it's a really easy, quick 2-0. Man, this deck is sweet. This is, by a mile, my favorite archetype.